Hello and welcome, this is Mouse Gunner, and we're back with some more Battle Brothers. And our current objective, from what I understand, now that we're in the town of Dornthal, is to hire some men and then arm them and get provisions and what have you. We have 2,400 gold, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we can hire. Alright, so taking a look at things, what does this mean? Higher level, so... does that mean he is level 2? Well, let's take a look at our current band and see what level they are. So we've got level 1, level 1, level 1. So I'm not too surprised at that. We're all level 1. I think this guy might be level 2, I'm gathering from this number. Either that or that means he's 2 higher levels than us, but I think it's just that he's a level 2, maybe. I'm not seeing that here, though. Okay, background hunter. Hunters are used to expertly hunt animals with bow and arrow and traverse the woods on their own. Okay, well, he's much more expensive, I see, and we also, I'm assuming this is a daily wage, so that's their upkeep. Let's see if we can see that on the other characters here. So, I don't know if we have that. Oh, interesting. We have some effects here. Dissatisfied. Okay. Okay, won a battle. Lost most of the company. Okay, so that most of these guys are probably going to have that effect. Okay. So can only have steady morale or worse. All right, so you can't have great morale during dissatisfied. Gotcha. Survivor. So has a 90% chance to survive if struck down and not killed by a fatality. All right, so that's good. I don't know if he picked that up because of the injury he got, or if everybody has that. No, not everybody has that. Interesting. Okay, so some of these guys have traits, and I don't know if you can see their background, like what we saw with that one guy where it said woodsman. So maybe that's how you kind of gauge what kind of troop you're going to get. So if we select this guy instead, so it's going to have a different background. So farmhand. Okay, okay, and then we have more of a description here. And then over here, we've got a peddler. Okay. So the farmhand is a little bit more expensive to upkeep and pay for as well than the peddler. I might be buying both of these guys. I think level 1 character is probably fine, but I'm going to hire this farmhand, just kind of see what he's all about. So let's hire him. And then let's take a look at him. See what we got ourselves into. So he's in good spirit. So he has a 25% chance to start battle at a confident morale. So comparatively dissatisfied, that just puts a cap on your morale. And then we have, does it tell me why he has that? Join a mercenary company. So just because he just got recruited. He's also brave. Okay, so he's got more resolve. That's good. And then this is his background. So I don't think the other characters had a background, did they? Oh, companion. Okay, gotcha. So these guys have more of like a story to them than, because from what I see here, it actually talks about them specifically. So ideally, we don't want them to die. Okay, so... and then we have the abilities of the weapon he currently has, which is just a pitchfork, which is probably not great. Then we see his actual stats. So he's a more close combat guy, from what I'm seeing. So these are the stats these characters have. So it's pretty self-explanatory. Melee skill, that's for in close fighting. Range skill is for shooting. So if we look at our characters, we can see that Enyar is the most competent probably at ranged combat. But he's not that bad, actually, with melee. I mean, he's better than this farm guy. I guess that's what they kind of meant by the background here. Probably has a big part to play in the stats of the characters. Because this guy, he doesn't seemingly have that great of stats, all things considered, but he was cheap, so... Alright, well, I like being cheap, so we'll get this peddler guy, too. Okay, so... They're not used to hard physical labor or warfare, but they do excel at haggling for good prices. I don't know if that really helps. Is there a thing for that? Don't think there's a thing for that, stats-wise. I might actually go to that one town, because I'm not really a big fan of the characters that we have here. Okay, well, you know what? We'll hire him anyway, even though he might not live all that. Well, actually, no, it doesn't mention his name here, so, okay, but I think, are the descriptions different for each character? I am curious if you find people that have similar backgrounds, if they're going to be different, like if these are story characters or not. That's one thing that I am a little bit curious of, but as far as I understand, they can die all the same. Let's go ahead and hire this guy, as I was saying, and take a look at him real quick. So again, he's in good moods. He's gluttonous, tasty. Let's have another one. Okay, extra provisions. He's fat. He's got more hit points, but less fatigue. Okay, good spirit, we already know. Double grip. With the second hand free, this character can get a firm double grip on his weapon and inflicts additional damage. Alright, well, that's interesting. He's kind of a bruiser, although he doesn't really have the fighting skills to back it up. Alright, so I think now that we have these guys, we're going to want to equip them. And I am going to go down to that bigger town and see if we can pick up more skilled guys, maybe. So, we'll spoil in 7 days. We'll spoil in 11 days. Okay. Visions may... Why may... Okay. This lasts a little bit longer. But costs some more. From what I can see... Brain is the more affordable thing. I do want a little bit more of that. I'm not exactly sure how I buy things, so... Buy item. Ah, so you buy them in lots of 25. Alright, I'm willing to do that. And... Then as far as weapons go, how do we buy weapons? Alright, so we've got kind of standard weapons here. So right now... I'm going to actually look at our squad, because I want to see some of these weapon attributes. So, this is two-handed weapon. Counts as a pole arm. Has a range of 2 tiles, so that's good. I might want to give this weapon to this guy here, the peddler, because he has a bonus when he uses a weapon in 2 hands, so we'll want to probably give him a two-handed weapon. Although I think he will naturally do that anyway. Alright, so taking a look at what we've got equipment-wise. So, armor... That kind of is beat up. Alright, so some of the items that are in here are like, worn out a little bit. And I have to remember that I have an inventory as well here. So... Interesting. Okay. I don't think we need to equip these guys at all. So it's mostly these guys that we would want to equip. And it looks like both of them have linen tunics. This guy has a hat, whereas this guy does not. Probably be nice to get him something like that. So... Unfortunately, though, this is rather beat up. Although it might save me some money to buy it. Well, I'll go ahead and buy the hood. And right-click to buy. And then... I would like... Trying to see what is cost-effective. This hatchet doesn't seem like it's a bad buy, but it is expensive. I do want this shield, for sure. We'll buy that. And I'm not sure if I'm going to buy any other items. I could buy another pitchfork if I wanted to, but for now, we'll buy the shield and we'll buy the hood. Now, I am going to leave. And I am curious, if we take a look at our stuff, is there a way to repair items? So, that item to be repaired. So, Alt, right-click. So, Alt, right-click, Alt, right-click. So those items will be repaired. And our other items don't need repaired. Okay, so we can leave. And I think we're going to go down to the south. Because I just don't feel like party we have is good enough. Okay, we have a trade caravan. I don't know if there's anything we can do with that. Ooh, foot... Okay, along the way, as Krakdorf's skyline appeared on the horizon, Enya the Younger seeks a word with you. Never been to Krakdorf before, but I've been around ones that look a lot like it. Cities like these are great for selling goods, as all these prissy, pompous pricks love to have their goods delivered. With so many merchants, you can find almost everything you need, too. Keep an eye out for bargains and don't get swindled by them cutthroat merchants. Gunther sees fit to add his own opinion of what you should do. There's a good tavern. I say that's where we should go first. Nothing helps a man down on his luck more than a good pint. Gods know we earned it. Enya the Younger shakes his head. You say that every time we stop into a town. You say that even when you're already drunk. Alright, so I see these footsteps, and let's see. Alright, visit Krakdorf south of Dornthal. Recruit at least 3 more men. Buy weapons and armor for your men. Got it. That's our quest. So yeah, very reminiscent of Mount & Blade Warband as far as the way the map interaction works. That fact that you have the footpaths and the footsteps and you can follow a path. So a little bit bigger group of men to hire, it looks like, just from the animation here. We've got a marketplace, we've got a Fletcher, okay, and a tavern. Offering beverages, food, okay, so more specific goods, it looks like. So let's go to the hire screen. Oh wow, maybe I should have gone here first, because look at these guys, these guys are cheap, okay. Are used to all kinds of physical work, but don't excel in any. Okay, so the description is slightly different. Wow, these guys are super cheap. Tailor. So I probably should have waited. Oh, what do we got here? This guy is even cheaper. Refugee. Okay. One of the many refugees you've seen, this man has... Okay, so refugees lack the conviction to fight for their homes, but they are used to long and exhausting travel by now. Alright, so he probably has really crappy morale is kind of what they're trying to say there. Alright, well, we'll pick up some of these laborers. So, hire you. And I don't see a reason why not to hire extra people. But first, let's take a look at what one of these guys is like, so we get an idea of stuff. So, standard, okay, so he pretty much has no attributes to speak of. His stats aren't that bad, though. And he didn't come with any weapons to speak of either. Okay, so it does look like over time we did indeed repair. So I am going to hire the other guy here, the other laborer guy. Let's see if that's the same thing with him as well. So, the other guy we hired is this guy. And he does have a trait, the double grip trait. So, plus 25% damage if he is using both hands to do damage. Okay, so... I might hire... Well, how much gold do I have at this point? I might hire one more guy. Let's see what else we got here. We got this guy who's a apprentice. Apprentices tend to be eager for knowledge and learn faster than others. Well, that might not be a bad pickup. We also have the tailor. Tailors are not used to hard physical labor. I mean, it's kind of like that peddler that we've got. I mean, I'm half tempted to get the refugee, but I'm not sure if I want somebody that's going to be really crap morale-wise. Sure, we'll pick up the apprentice here. Okay, so I think that's a good start. We got more men than they asked us to get. He has 2 days still to heal up. All right, now we are down on weapons, though. Let's take a look at what we've got here. Leather tunic, so I think, yeah, that's going to be better armor than standard. We've got rugged. Okay, so this guy is pretty darn well armored here. All right, so let's take a look at the stores then. Well, Fletcher, I'm just going to look here really quickly. So we've got bows and arrows. I'm going to leave. I didn't really take a look. Is anybody really all that good at shooting? I mean, I didn't really hire anybody that way. From what I can see, no, but that's okay. I think starting out, we'll build a base of close combat guys. All right. So, Fletchers for bows and arrows. I don't really know if we need that. I mean, I could buy more ammunition, which may be important for our stocks. So, I think I'm going to buy one of these. So, we're a little over 1,000 at this point. There's throwing weapons. Not sure if I'm ready for that. And let's hop over to the tavern just to see what's there. Get their spirits up. We could do that. If we're around to get patrons to share what news they have. Okay, so that's the kind of stuff you can do in the tavern. Sure, I'll try and get their spirits up. Alright, so what that did is it turned the guys that were not in good spirits into having good spirits. Or at least made them content. So they no longer have any penalties. So that's good. That's why I did that. Okay, let's leave. So we have 1,000 left to arm our men. Okay, so these are just goods for trading. We've got smoked ham, which lasts quite a while. Dried fish. Goes in 8 days. I might want to buy a little bit more food. Roots and berries. Looks like the grain is still the cheapest for right now. So I think I'm going to buy some of that. And then I do want... We already got ammunition. We have medical supplies. I do want a little bit of tools. Although I don't know if we can afford that. That's pretty expensive. Alright, moving down here. Let's see what we got for weapons. So, malicious spear. It's damaged, but might be a good value. And we do have guys that pretty much don't have weapons, so... Straw hat, that's interesting. Alright. Well, it is armor. So, let's buy a straw hat. Let's buy one of these wooden shields. Let's buy... I think the spear, as well as some of these bludgeons. And I am going to buy a thing of tools. So we're pretty low on gold at this point. But I think arming our men, I think we may have accomplished that to some extent. I am tempted to buy a pitchfork here, so I'm going to buy that too. Why the heck not? Okay, so we're going to leave. That did drain a lot of my gold, but we should be decently well armed here now. I am going to set some of this stuff to be repaired. which is why we bought the tools in the first place. So Alt right click, and hopefully by the time we get to where we need to be, these things will be repaired decently. But let's go through our men. So starting off with men that we have that two-handed bonus with, I figure, why don't we, I'm going to disarm some men that I'm not sure yet what I want to do. I'm going to go ahead and give this guy a pitchfork because it is a two-handed weapon. Oh, I see. I misunderstood that. So it was because he had only one weapon in a hand. Gotcha. So he doesn't normally have that bonus. That's just a kind of a situational bonus. Okay. Well, I'm still going to disarm the men. Outside of our starting crew, which I think I'm just going to keep them with what arms they have. Let's disarm the men and take stock of what we have as far as armament. Kind of go from there. So, most of the men have... It looks like this guy here, Berengar, is fairly skilled in close combat, and he has better armor starting out as well. So I think I might want to organize this stuff too so I can keep track of these guys a little bit better. But I think I am going to want Berengar here to be one of our better armed guys. So let's just take a look at what we got here. I think ideally I'm going to want him armed with the spear once it gets repaired. So let's go ahead and arm him with that. It is a one-handed weapon. And then we'll give him a shield as well. And I'll give him... Well, the hood is the same as the straw hat. But I will give him a straw hat. That gives him some armor, I guess. And I am going to give this guy the hood. Hopefully he's healed up by the time we get around to that. We have another shield. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to find somebody else that is pretty good. Because the guys that are good, I'm going to want to have more survivability. Alright, so it looks like this guy is pretty decent in combat. I didn't take a look at Resolve or anything like that. Maybe he's not the greatest in Resolve. But I still like his combat abilities. Okay, so these two guys are pretty close, 54 versus 53. I think the farmer's better though, just because of his brave ability overall and what have you. I don't know. This guy doesn't really... Okay, he does get plus 10. I'm seeing if some of these other jobs actually have some effect. Not that I can see. All right. But I think the farmer we want to keep around. Alternatively, we could give him the pitchfork and have him be a little bit more ranged. But I think I want another close-in guy, and Brave kind of screams, you know, give me close-in weapons. So we've got these bludgeons here. These are going to be, I think, our close-in weapons. I'll go ahead and give him one of these. Or is the cleaver better? The cleaver does less fatigue. This is better against armor, though. Let's go ahead and give him that. Okay, and I'm going to organize my guys into, like, who is my front line, who's my back line, so I can keep track of things. Alright, so for now, I'm going to put guys that haven't been armed in the reserve. And guys that have been armed are going to be in the front line. This is our current front line, and then this is our back line. Alright, so I do eventually... I think I'm going to make this guy a close combat guy. I'm going to remove his hat, though, and give it to the farmer instead, so that he has better defense. Okay, so the peddler, I think, is going to join my front line, but kind of is an unskilled weapon wielder. And then these two guys are going to be my pitchfork guys. Matter of fact, I've changed my mind. I'm going to have the farmer wear that, and then you can wear this, I guess. All right. Any case, let's go ahead and arm these guys with our pitchforks. And they're going to be in the back line because pitchforks have a range of 2 tiles. So they'll be in the back line, giving us some support. And outside of that, I think we're pretty much good to go. So I have an extra weapon that I didn't really end up using, but that's okay. We can always use it later. Just clean this up a little bit. All right, so I think we're more or less good to go. So it's to leave the town. And we're going to start... Oh, I didn't think about wages. That might have been a mistake. But hopefully it doesn't cost me too much here. But note for the future, keep some money. Unfinished business. Thorleif the counselor is pacing back and forth when you find him. The healer who damn near killed you with the fire poke is standing nearby. He's picking chunks of dried blood out of his fingernails. Thorleif the counselor claps his hands. Finally, you're here. I have good news. We've got hold of one of Haggart's former men. My good friend here has a nice talk with the man, and now I know where Haggart's licking his wounds. The healer clears his throat, playing his fingers out like a maiden looking to paint them. He speaks as though he's identifying a disease he is about to excise. The brigand, now known as Haggart, is hiding in a small hut on the plains to the west of here. Based upon my most civil discussion with one of his men, Haggart knows the Mouse's cadets is on his heels and will have gathered more men since the last time you met him. Nodding, Thorleif, the counselor, waves you off. Good luck, sellsword. All right. We'll return with his head. Okay, we'll leave here. Okay. Kill Haggart the Weasel. Travel to Haggart's refuge west of Dornthal. So west would be this direction. Over there. Okay, so we're going to go right there. I don't know if I have enough gold to pay my men. Maybe I made a little bit of mistake there. I will maybe go in the town and sell some things if I you know, I don't know how much gold I'd get back, but I may have accidentally not paid attention to the fact that we have to pay the men every so often. But in any case, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.